What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy NextGen720, and I'm back with another video. It's a big public outcry right now. The parity issue between Assassin's Creed Unity. So right now, the developer came out and gave a formal statement, and it was it talks about he said Assassin's Creed Unity Direct on the Wii U really couldn't handle it. The creator director says Nintendo console was simply not powerful enough to handle the new game. It was heavily reliant on the CPU. And again, now according to this article, that the Wii U couldn't run this game because it was not because of the Xbox One or the PS4's GPU. The reason why they couldn't get the game to 1080p, they said, it was because of the console's CPU. Now, if you don't know anything before, now according to what they're saying, that, and this is their engine. This new Unity, the engine that they have is more reliant on the CPU. But it says here, that before you go to saying that the PlayStation 4 version was hindered by the Xbox One version, it says here that, well, not even says this is fact, that Sony's CPU is clocked at 1.6. Microsoft's CPU was clocked at 1.75. And they have the same exact CPU. But Microsoft's is a little faster. Now, you have some games that are dependent on the GPU. We still don't know what GPU was in the Xbox One, but word around town is that PlayStation 4 has a more powerful GPU than was in the Xbox One. But anyway, what I'm saying, I'm going to say this, what I'm saying, but, and now, me, I don't have an issue with the 900p because, again, if resolution and frames and stuff, was that important, was my number one priority, I would just get another gaming rig and play it at 2160p and whatever, whatever the case may be, if I cared that much about the resolution and frame. What I do care about, and I will say this again, if you guys have been rocking out with me for the longest, it's not that I have to have, that my console choice has to be the most powerful, because that's not the case. Look how great the PS2 was, and it was by far the weakest console between the big three. The GameCube was more powerful than the PS2, and the original Xbox was more powerful than them all. That is not the case. But here's the difference. I have a problem if my console wasn't a capable console. I mean, and excuse me, please pardon that beep, but that's my Verizon battery pack. I have to call them to give me another battery. I just moved here, and I guess the battery inside the box, the modem is dying. That's that beeping you hear. But I'm sorry. I like I said, if we can argue all day till the cows come home and saying that the Xbox One, 720p, 9, whatever the case may be, and none of that bothers me. But I will have an issue if I would have an issue if my console wasn't strong enough to get these ports or get these multiplexes. Then that is the issue. Like I've always said before, they tend to put out a next generation console that can't really run any next generation engines. They're not saying they use DirectX anything. They use what you call equivalent direct. They use their GPU is DirectX 10 equivalent with some DirectX 11 feature. So Nintendo basically put out a console with a GPU that was already extremely outdated. DirectX 10, we already shipped. DirectX 12 will be here next year. DirectX 11 was already out and been out for a while. So the reason why I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like and again, see, now you had a whole, and I'll say this again. Now, take heed to what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong. And before you say Ubisoft has it out against Nintendo, you can't be mad at developers because they have a vision for a game if your console can't run the game. And that's saying if Wii U could run it, that they were bringing Assassin's Creed to the Wii U anyway, because the last one, Assassin's Creed, sold like 70, 80,000 units. You know what I mean? So you can't fault them. This is a business to make money, because the Wii U could run Assassin's Creed Rogue. They're not getting that either. You know what I mean? They couldn't get that. But you understand what I'm saying? But there's a problem when you have a whole generation of multiplexes coming out that your console is not powerful enough to run. Now that is the issue. You understand? Now that is the reason why. One of the reasons that I don't care for the Wii U, you know what I mean? Like I said, the console doesn't have, last generation, the 360 wasn't more powerful than the PS3, but I gave you guys my reasons why before the Xbox. So power really has nothing to do with it, but you can at least be a capable console. The PS2, like I said, kicked the GameCube and the Xbox ass. You know, in the 6th generation, it was a capable system. Wasn't the most powerful, but it also had the games. You know what I mean? You know, but no multiplayer. But I think only one multiplayer came out that couldn't, or third-party game that came out that couldn't run on the PS2. And I believe was Rainbow Six. That was for the original Xbox back then. You know what I mean? But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you have a problem with this whole parity clause? They said they would put it out both at 900p, and Ubisoft said it's nothing to do with the Xbox One or the PS4's GPU because the game looks great graphically. Their engine, you know, and he said, you know, the number of enemies you have on the screen, you know, this is what, you know, it's the number of enemies you have on the screen, you know, NPCs. It says, here, check it out. It says that technically we could, he said here, that we aim for both 900p 30 frames a second on both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Ubisoft has confirmed to videogame.her. It says we decided to lock them at the same specs to avoid all the debate and stuff, which is again is sad. Really, you know that this generation is turning out horrible, but you know, I've never seen resolution and frames per second take, you know, that's talked about more than the actual game. Like I said, that is, you know, I'm not gonna say who started that, but anyway. Senior producer Vincent told videogame.her, technically we're CPU bound. He said the GPUs are really powerful. Obviously the graphics look pretty good, but it's the CPU that has to process the AI, the number of NPCs we have on the screen, all these systems running in parallel. Now, and again, now you take a look at DOA 3. Wasn't a game that looked good, you know, wasn't the best looking next generation game. But did you see all the different enemies on the screen, and wasn't the same as that none of you guys would play, wasn't the same as that zombie, you know, but again. But let me know what you guys think. Do you have a problem with the 900p? If it was the PlayStation 4 version that helped the Xbox One version back, could you imagine the shitstorm that had been if the Xbox One version was 1080p and the PS4 version was 900p? Could you remember that? Could you, you know, like, could you fathom that outcry? You know what I mean? Like, damn. But well, Xbox fan, it was the PS4 that kept the Xbox version back from hitting 1080. You have a problem with that? You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like me, I don't have an issue. And also, too, I'm asking you, Nintendo fan, do you have a problem with the fact now, something I've been saying this, now again, something I've been saying forever, now you have some developers coming out and voicing this, because look, you got a game that, like, Batman, the new Batman, you know, and the reason why the Wii U can't get the new Batman is because it's not powerful enough, doesn't have enough system RAM to have the Batmobile, you know what I mean? So, do you have a problem with that, what Nintendo did, and do you have a problem with this parity? Let me know in the comment section down below. Yeah, bang bang.